As you may know, academic stress and fear of failure significantly impact students' mental health and learning experiences worldwide. According to the PISA 2018 results, the percentage of students in 37 countries worldwide who fear failure ranges from 36% to 72%. Another statistics conducted by Pew survey on teens in 2019 shows that academic pressure tops their list of stressors. 61% say they face a lot of pressure to get good grades at school. These numbers reflect a reality many students, including myself, live with every day. Now, let's step away from the number for a moment. Think back to your own school days. Have you ever gotten a bad grade? Have you ever felt the weight of disappointment from your teachers, your parents, or even yourself? Yes. I have. And my experience with failure changed the way I see education forever. 6 years ago, I narrowly passed the entrance exam for my secondary school with a 1 out of 10 in math. In my very first math class at the new school, the teacher announced, anyone with a math score below 3, stand up. My heart bounded. A student beside me stood up first. The teacher scoffed. Shameful, you might not belong here. Laughter filled the room. I froze in my seat, too scared to move. From that day on, I avoided talking about my math score. The word math itself became a barrier, and my teacher's words echoed in my mind. Going to high school, I hoped things would improve. But no, they didn't. My homeroom teachers, also my math teachers, made us read our scores aloud. Those with high marks spoke confidently, while those with low scores whispered in fear. One day, she turned to a struggling student and asked, "What's wrong with you? Don't you feel guilty toward your parents?" And that word, guilty, hit me hard. Struggling in a subject doesn't mean you are a failure, but I still felt like one. And for a long time, I believed it. After years of fearing mistakes, something changed. I started volunteering as an online English tutor for V, a quiet 7th grade girl from a disadvantaged background. At first, teaching her was frustrating. Almost whenever I asked her a question, she stayed silent and turned off her camera. One day, exasperated, I told her, "If you have a trouble, you should tell me. How can I help you if you never speak?" And for the first time, she snapped. "I don't know the answer. I'm afraid of making a mistake." Her voice cracked. And suddenly, I saw myself, the girl in math class, too scared to speak. I wasn't just avoiding my questions. V wasn't just avoiding my questions. She was hiding, just like I had. Reflecting on the mistakes from the eyes of both a learner and a teacher of V imparted 3 valuable lessons that have changed my perspective on education. Lesson 1, listening, and communicating. I wasn't just teaching V. I was learning from her. She didn't need pressure. She needed permission to make mistakes. And to give her that, I needed to listen first. So, I changed my approach. Instead of pushing her, I reassured her by patiently explaining her mistakes rather than scolding her. Instead of expecting the answers, I gave her space to ask questions. Slowly, she started engaging. And with every small step, I saw her confidence grow. Lesson 2, no perfection. For so long, I thought teachers had to know everything, that mistakes weren't allowed. But the day I admitted to V that I sometimes struggled too, something changed. V stopped seeing me as an authority. She started seeing me as an ally. And suddenly, learning felt safe. I realized that perfection is not what makes a teacher great. It is the ability to show students that learning is a journey, not a performance. And for the last lesson, which I think has changed us the most, is lesson number 3. Creativity makes mistakes less scary. At first, we didn't want to talk about mistakes. But when I asked her to draw them, something changed. You can see the demonstration of how V illustrated about her fear of having bad scores, being scolded by her teachers, and then feeling stressed and felt herself. After the drawing, we started sharing. She started engaging. That is when I realized that the more we create, the less we fear, and the safer learning becomes. We built a mind map together, why we can grow from mistakes. And through this, we started seeing mistakes differently, not as something to fear, but as something to learn from. These experiences are the reason I am speaking today. I want to say that we are not guilty because we struggle. We are not guilty because we fail. Because education isn't about perfection. It's about progress. So, to every student who has ever felt ashamed of having a bad grade, to every teacher who has ever doubted their ability, let's change the way we see mistakes. Because mistakes don't define us. They teach us. That's why I stand here today, no matter how many mistakes I have made. Thank you.